Okay, welcome back everyone. This is Unit 4 of English for Electrical Engineering. What is electronics is the question we will try to answer in today's session. As in previous lessons, we are just going to have a couple of texts. So it's up to you if you want to use this video as a listening task or a reading practice. It's entirely up to you, whichever you choose. I'm going to show you, we are going to look at comprehension questions and I will show you all the answers as well. 3 texts as always. Let's get started with the first one. So let me just read you these couple of sentences. So electronics is the branch of science that controls electricity to convey a signal using semiconductor materials. These signals represent numbers, letters, sounds, pictures, computer instructions, or other information. Radio systems were developed to read and understand these signals, and in 1920 radio broadcasting started, making it possible for electromagnetic waves to travel long distances. More sophisticated devices were needed during World War II, and the invention of radar or radio detection and ranging represented a further step in electronics, making it possible to determine the altitude, direction, and speed of moving and fixed objects. The invention of television in the 1920s was one of the most revolutionary and popular inventions in history, and it showed the importance of electronics in certain branches of industry. For the first time in history, it became possible to transmit images and sound over the wire circuits. The first computer appeared in 1946. This machine, which would solve a wide range of computing problems, was built over 3 years by a team of American scientists working at the University of Pennsylvania. It was a huge machine weighing almost 50 tons. The first transistor was assembled in 1957 by a team of scientists working at the Bell Laboratories in the USA, and it was a real coming of age in the science of electronics because it replaced the use of valves. Transistors are very small, easy to handle, cheap, and they use little power. The silicon chip, which followed the transistor in the 1960s, can't read properly, can come to several thousand transistors packed and interconnected in layers beneath the surface. It is tiny, usually less than 1 centimeter square and about 0.5 millimeter thick, and it has paved the way for microelectronics. Electronics have influenced and improved the way information is stored, processed, and distributed. Social and personal life has been deeply affected by these inventions, and many financial, business, medical, education, and political routines have been sped up. Right, this is the task for you to fill in. If you want, you can take a screenshot now and make notes. Inventions on the left, year in the middle, and function on the right. If you are one of the students in the class, then you have the same thing on the worksheet. You can answer the questions on your own first, and you can use this one only as a way of checking your answers, okay? So here we go. I'm just going to show you all the answers here. And there we go, about the radio, radar, television, computer, transistor, and the silicon chip. Right, so that was our first text. Let's move on to the second one. So what we'll have to do here is read the text about the different kinds of electronic circuits and answer the questions on the following slides. So a conventional electronic circuit is made of separate components attached to a base called a printed circuit board, or PCB for short. Before being finalized and manufactured, the electronic circuit must be tested many times on an experimentation board called a breadboard. Breadboard. It consists of a perforated block of plastic with several spring clips connected by copper wires. It doesn't require soldering, as its components can be pushed straight into the holes, so it is easy to change connections and replace pieces as well. It is generally used to create temporary prototypes and experiment with circuit design. The integrated circuit, also known as a chip, is one of the most important inventions of the 20th century. Integrated circuits are used in almost all electronic equipment today, for example watches, calculators and microprocessors. It consists of millions of transistors and other electronic components combined to form a complex set on a thin slice of silicon or other semiconductor material. Chips are becoming tinier and tinier, and they are produced in large quantities so that costs are reduced. Since signals have to travel a short distance, they work faster, consume less power and generate less heat. They are also more reliable given the limited amount of connections which could fail. The microprocessor is the heart of any normal computer. It is a logic integrated circuit chip which can carry out a sequence of operations when it receives instructions from different input devices. As it doesn't contain a large memory, it can't work alone, but needs to be supported by other integrated circuits to be connected with peripherals. Most microprocessors are found inside computers and are called the CPU, the Central Processing Unit. To work properly, the microprocessor needs to receive instructions from a memory chip. These instructions are then decoded, executed and elaborated to get the results available. The most sophisticated microprocessors can contain up to 10 million transistors and run 300 million cycles per second. It means that the computer can perform about 1 billion instructions every second. As technology continues to evolve, microprocessors are becoming tinier and tinier. Right, we are going to look at a couple of questions here. Again, if you want to practice reading or listening comprehension, you can take a screenshot now and make notes to answer the questions. If you are a student with a worksheet, then you can again just use the video as a way of checking your answers. So, what is a conventional circuit made of? It is made of separate components attached to the base, or PCB. What does PES stand for? Printed Circuit Board. What is breadboard? Breadboard, yani khubus. No. Okay, no, let's be serious now. So it is a perforated block of plastic with several spring clips connected by copper wires. What does a chip consist of? Not potatoes, but millions of transistors and other electronic components combined to form a complex set. I'm really have to apologize for that potato joke. That was just horrible. Moving on, number 5. What is a chip made out of? Semiconductor materials such as silicon. I almost went there again. What are the advantages of chips compared to conventional electronic circuits? They work faster, consume less power, and generate less heat, and they are also more reliable. Number 7, what is a microprocessor? It is a logic integrated circuit chip which can carry out a sequence of operations when it receives instructions from different input devices. How many instructions can computers perform? Billions, no? Yeah, up to 1 billion every second. Right, these are our answers. Read the text again. Match the words with their definitions. Again, I'll just show you the answers. It's prototype, an original model used to test a circuit or a product. Perforated means having a series of holes. Soldering, the act of joining metallic parts. To fail, to perform ineffectively. Peripheral means an auxiliary device that works with a computer. And to decode, surprise, surprise, is to convert an electrical signal into another code. Right. Any questions so far? No? Alright, then let's move on to our final text about mobile phones. We'll have to complete it with words in the box right here. Again, screenshot, complete the task, 2 seconds, and then now I'm just going to read the text with the correct answer so you can check your answer. So a cellular or mobile phone is designed to give the user freedom of speech, freedom of movement while using a telephone. That's interesting. Yeah, that's actually, yeah, okay, whatever. Freedom of movement. I'll just start it all over again. So a cellular phone or mobile phone is designed to give the user freedom of movement while using a telephone. It uses radio signals to communicate between the phone and the antenna. The server area is divided into smaller areas called cells, and an antenna is placed within each cell and connected by telephone lines. These lines connect cellular phones to one another. A computer selects the antenna closest to the telephone when a call is made. If the phone moves to one serving cell to another, the radio signal is transferred to the actual cell without interrupting the conversation. The circuit board is the heart of the system. A chip translates the outgoing and incoming signals from analog to digital and back from digital to analog. The microprocessor handles all the functions for the keyboard, display, and loudspeakers, and it controls the signal to the base station. The circuit board is the heart of the system. Now, there we go. This is a repeat of the top. Never mind. Okay, so let's start from here. Other flash memory chips provide storage for the operating system. A cellular phone is not only a phone, but provides an incredible amount of functions. They store information. You can use it as a calculator, send and receive emails, surf the internet, play simple games, play music, take photos and videos, just to mention a few of these functions. Can you imagine life without your mobile phone? There is life without mobile phones, yeah, but it's scary. Right? Mobile phones use radio signals to communicate. True or false? Sa or Allah? Mobile phones use radio signals to communicate. Is that one true or false? That is true. The server area is divided into smaller areas called stations. Station. Voila, patrol. Yeah. It's false. This one is false. An antenna is placed every 2 or 3 cells. False. Communication with a mobile within a cell is independent of the base station. Again, false. We got too many falses here. There are interruptions when you move from one cell to another. No. That's the whole point. It has to be continuous. The antenna is at the heart of the system. That is also false. A signal must be translated. That is true at last. We got some true sentences as well. The flash memory handles all the functions. That is false. Loudspeakers are controlled by the microprocessor. That one is true. You can text and send emails with your mobile phone. Again, that's true. So at least you got a couple of true sentences at the end. Right. Questions so far. No questions? All right. Then I'll have to say thank you for your attention. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.